a 90s sitcom character became the center of political controversy. Echoes of that are being felt today. The fervor over GOP vice presidential nominee JD Vance's now infamous childless cat ladies remark had barely died down when Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders fanned the flames again. "My kids keep me humble," Sanders said at a September 17th campaign event for Donald Trump in Flint, Michigan. "Unfortunately, Kamala Harris doesn't have anything keeping her humble." As with Vance's cat ladies dig, many women were outraged that Sanders would criticize Vice President Harris for not having biological children, and that she would disregard Harris's 2 stepchildren. Even some conservatives attempted to distance themselves from the comments, with one senior Trump campaign advisor saying he was offended and disappointed by them. It's too soon to tell what impact, if any, these statements will have on Trump's third bid for the White House. But there's reason to believe they might alienate some women, a demographic that Trump already struggles with. Polls show that Democrats have an edge with women, and that advantage increases significantly when it comes to younger and unmarried female voters. The public discourse over childless cat ladies and Sanders' latest remark evokes a similar political controversy in U.S. history, in which another Republican leader uttered a statement about women's reproductive choices that would go on to haunt his campaign. The year was 1992, then President George H.W. Bush was running for a second term, and the eponymous protagonist of the TV sitcom, Murphy Brown, gave birth to a child she decided to raise as a single mother. What would have been 2 entirely unrelated events were then forever entwined when Vice President Dan Quayle decried the fictional character in a campaign speech. "Bearing babies irresponsibly is simply wrong. Failing to support children one has fathered is wrong, and we must be unequivocal about this," he said at the time. It doesn't help matters when primetime TV has Murphy Brown, a character who supposedly epitomizes today's intelligent, highly paid professional woman, mocking the importance of fathers by bearing a child alone and calling it just another lifestyle choice. The backlash from liberals was swift. Quayle's Murphy Brown pronouncement made newspaper front pages and television broadcasts, and garnered a stumbling response from the White House. It also sparked a national conversation on family values, reaching such a fever pitch that the Murphy Brown writers addressed Quayle's remarks on the show. Just as Quayle's throwaway line turned into one of the most memorable moments of the 1992 presidential campaign, the public is still talking about Vance's childless cat ladies. Swipe today. Murphy Brown premiered on CBS in 1988, starring Candice Bergen as a fierce, acerbic news anchor of the same name. Murphy was a highly ambitious, divorced woman in her 40s returning to the newsroom after battling an addiction to alcohol and cigarettes. She reflected a zeitgeist in which more women were reclaiming control over their lives and pursuing demanding careers outside the home, often choosing to delay or forego motherhood. "I hadn't really seen a character like Murphy on television before. I hadn't seen a character like myself or my friends, women who at the time were really making our way in a man's world," series creator Diane English says in an episode of the CNN original series, TV on the Edge, Moments That Shaped Our Culture. In hindsight, Murphy Brown seemed primed to become a culture war flashpoint. From the start, the show was unabashedly liberal. The critic Emily St. James wrote in an article for Vox, its characters sermonized about the ways liberal policies would improve lives and frequently mocked Republicans. Quayle, whose gaffes made him the butt of countless jokes at the time, was a favorite target. By the early 90s, Murphy Brown was one of the most popular shows on TV. Then at the end of the 3rd season, the writers threw Murphy an unexpected challenge. The character gets pregnant by her ex-husband. After Murphy's ex-husband says he can't be there for her, she decides to keep the baby and raise it alone. The 4th season follows her navigating her pregnancy and culminates in her giving birth. An estimated 33.7 million viewers tuned in for the finale, titled Birth 101. "Everybody we knew was going through this at the time," says Barnett Kellman, who directed the Birth 101 episode and much of the series. "Some people were adopting and raising children by themselves. Some people were marrying friends. People were doing all kinds of things, to continue the joys and responsibilities of parenting while being in the workforce. Though Murphy's decision to keep the baby and have it without a partner may seem political, writer Corby Shiomi says it was primarily a storytelling choice. For our world that we had created and the characters in this world, we thought that it would be interesting to see this character be a mom, Shiomi tells CNN.